This is episode 4 in the Consciousness series. My name is Candice Sanderson, and I want to welcome you. I'd like to address some of the questions I received this past week. Jeanette sent in an email with this question. It reads, "Hi, Candice. I've often heard you mention T-E-A, thought, energy, action. What about when we meditate or just try to be quiet? Do we just take thought, that would be the T, out of the formula in TEA?" That's a very good question. By the way, anyone is free to email me and ask me questions that you might have as you watch this on YouTube or listen on the Reluctant Messenger podcast. Let me delve in a little deeper into T. That's an acronym, TEA. It stands for thought, energy, and action. That's a formula that the messengers gave me several years ago. Jeanette has a great question. Most of the time when we meditate, we are quieting our minds. We're trying to reduce that chatter that spins in the brain, or at least mine does, just like a hamster on a wheel, those thoughts just running over each other. But by stepping into silence, we begin to expand beyond the physical. For example, taking deep breaths helps us become calmer. And anytime we meditate and it relaxes us, it quiets us, that's good, that's great. But we can build on that by introducing affirmations or intentions. First of all, what are intentions? Intentions are thoughts. So let's look at some of the intentions you might choose before you meditate. It can be as simple as, I will relax and be stress-free. Or it can be more complex, such as, I will meet my guides and angels. Your intention can be related to the 3D, like getting clarity on an issue at work or at home. As you can see, an intention is a thought with a specific outcome, something you want to achieve. It's the thought, it's the T in that T formula of thought, energy, action. That thought, that intention becomes energy. And it's that energy that fuels the action for the outcome. So the intention, the thought, becomes an organizing principle, according to the messengers, to bring that energy into alignment. And the energy, in a very intelligent, organic way, guides this organizing principle from the thought, and it aligns it to match with the outcome. And what is that outcome? It's the manifestation of the desire. It's the manifestation of the thought, of your intention. So when we talk about meditation, it becomes more powerful when we approach meditation with that intention at the forefront. So let me circle back to Jeanette's question. By introducing an intention, even if the intention is just to relax, that's the thought, to relax. Often we have what I call our silent intentions. When you sit down or lie down to meditate, why are you doing this? You may not have consciously set the intention, but it's still there. In Jeanette's example, she asked if we were just trying to be quiet during the meditation. Well, if you go into a meditation session to be quiet, that is your intention. But by bringing your intention to the forefront, it becomes even stronger. And thoughts are powerful, very powerful. Here's something that I do throughout the day. I like to check in with myself and ask what's on my mind. What am I thinking? I can go for hours and then I realize I am just in this daydream. So I like to pull myself back into 3D and look at, what am I thinking? Have I strayed down a rabbit hole that I'd rather not be in? I know how powerful intentions and thoughts are because thoughts become things. So it's very important to become aware of your thoughts. I want to thank Jeanette for her question because it helps guide where I'm going next. In the last episode, we talked about that T formula, thought, energy, action, and how the observer sometimes presents with the not so positive side of us. It's that squeaky wheel hypothesis. Quite often, it's that side of us that's critical that we hear first. But there are methods we can use to uncover the more positive aspects of our observer. We had an assignment for this last episode, and one was to implement this short breathing exercise where we imagined breathing through our hearts, watching, or for those who don't visualize yet, just thinking of that inhalation coming in through the heart and flooding our entire body. When we do this exercise while we smile, it brings in positive energy. Then, when we exhale, we watch or we think about energy leaving the body. And if you notice it, it's kind of grayish. It's stale energy that we're getting rid of as we exhale. But this exercise helps us to enter into a space of stillness and quiet. It actually creates that sacred space that allows for more thoughtful action. So instead of just running on automatic, we can pull an intention in during that time, and it can become much more meaningful. Even if you take just 20 or 30 seconds a few times during the day, you will start to see a difference. Over time, your blood pressure and your heart rate decrease. You feel calmer. You put a space in the day that, I don't know, it wouldn't be there otherwise if you didn't take the time to do this. It also allows you a few moments outside of the physical. And allowing you a few moments in that non-physical realm, you're in a space where everything is connected. This is where you can ask to meet your observer, have a conversation with them, get to know them. And if it's just your critical self that shows up, your ego, then ask that aspect of you to step aside and make room for a wiser part of you to come forth. They are there, and in time, they will make themselves known to you. Using the question that Jeanette asked, set that intention before you take those deep breaths through your heart. So, what's your desired outcome? Your intention. What do you want to happen? You may want a few moments to just slow down the day, to disconnect from any chaos that surrounds you. If so, ask for that. Do you want to connect with higher guidance? Do you wish to meet that higher aspect of your observer? Ask for those things. Do you want your deep breathing to remove any impurities or any imbalances in your physical body? Ask for that. These things, breathing, smiling, and setting intentions, breathing through the heart, smiling as you do that, setting your intention. These are the foundational tools that we can use and will use for future explorations. I'm dating myself here, but do you remember that old movie, Field of Dreams, with Kevin Costner? There was a line in that I'm sure many of you will remember if you saw the movie, but it's build it and they will come. And that is so powerful. That's exactly what your intentions do. You think it. That's the T formula in action. Let me introduce something else. Let's think of it as another brick in the foundation that we're laying for stepping outside the physical realms and into the realm of the non-physical, the realm of energy. Let's talk about protection, protecting yourself, your energy field. As we slip outside the world of physicality, we expand into a beautiful field of energy. We become immersed in a realm where everything is connected. We want to connect with higher vibrations. And of course, we want to avoid the denser, lower frequencies. Those would be any kind of energy frequency associated with anger, depression, confusion, hate, darkness. Instead, we want to protect ourselves from being in that energy field so that we can connect with an energy pattern that is associated with gratitude, with love, happiness, laughter, light. We've already set a few things in motion that will help us connect and maintain that connection to the higher frequencies. What are they? Once again, the heart, the smile, and the intentions. We can use that simple tapping of the forehead trick, but consider something else. We can empower the intention with protection by adding a phrase such as, you state your intention and you say, all this for my greatest good or for my highest good, whatever feels right for you. But just adding that phrase brings in more protection. So these three things, the heart, the smile, and the greatest good added to the intention, might be enough for many people, but there's always more. I'm going to share with you what I use. These are some of the protections that I have learned through Monroe Institute and along with some shamanic practices. I've kind of combined them, but this is what works best for me. Bob Monroe called this a reball. That's an acronym for resonant energy balloon. But he says to bring energy up from the bottoms of your feet and then visualize or think of it as moving through your heart center, up your body, and out the top of your head. As this energy flows out of the top of your head, it then showers down and just covers you. It goes to the bottom of your feet and it comes back up, re-entering through your feet. You do this 2 more times, but like the second time when it flows out your head, you swirl it around your body, maybe in a clockwise position. You go back up through your feet again. When it goes out the head, now you reverse that and go in a counterclockwise position. Doesn't matter which one you start with. You've created a torus field around your body. Bob didn't call it that, but that's what it is. Now, I've added something that I have found to be very effective. It is for me. This is using something that in shamanic traditions, they call the Witikocha. It's the 8th chakra. So it's that energy center that is above the crown. It sits above the head, I don't know, about 12 inches or so. This 8th chakra goes by many names. It's called the 8th chakra, the Witikocha, the soul chakra, the star chakra. But this energy center is what connects us with that surrounding field of energy. That 8th chakra is a link. It is a gateway to the cosmos, to the realms of energy, and to the non-physical. I like to think of it or imagine it as a miniature sun that is spinning. It's a beautiful spinning golden orb. With this practice, I use hand motions. And once you're accustomed to this, you don't even need the hand motions, but I begin with my hands at prayer position, at my chest, over my heart. And as I inhale, I move my hands still in the prayer position above my head. I imagine my fingertips piercing that eighth chakra. To me, it's like piercing a giant egg yolk. And as I pierce it, I turn my hands so the backs of my hands are touching, and then I exhale. As I exhale, I grab the contents of that eighth chakra and I pull it all the way down around my body to a place that's actually a few feet below the ground. Still using my hands to guide the energy, I tuck that energy in and up through the bottoms of my feet, and I move it back up the center of my body, and I'll stop at my heart, and then I return my hands to the prayer position. I've just made a complete loop, and I've just finished a complete breath. If you're listening to this on my podcast, I suggest you check out the links in the podcast description. You can see the hand and arm movements on my YouTube channel, either through this video or through a series on my YouTube channel. If you go to my YouTube channel, you can click on playlist, and there you will find a playlist called Energy Tricks. And I have several videos called Guides to Hands-on Energy Practices. You know, I'm demonstrating this now, but the older videos were recorded with me standing, so you can see more of the motion there. But this protective energy bubble might seem a little awkward at first, but through practice, it can become second nature. I no longer use it before the breathing exercise. I actually embed it in the exercise. But let me just share that with you again. Hands in prayer position, I inhale. As I move my hands up and over my head, I pierce that eighth chakra and I pull that energy down all the way around me, and I tuck it in through the bottoms of my feet, and it returns to my heart. And then, just like the Monroe reball, I do that again. But this time we don't have to pierce that eighth chakra. It's already been pierced. So that energy goes up above the head. Then I swirl it around in one direction, tuck it in underneath my feet, bring it back up to my heart, flows out again, and I twirl it around in another position. Now you are completely enclosed in this bubble of protection. Building this protective energy bubble is very effective. It protects you from outside influences, and it also keeps your personal energy space intact. It might seem a little awkward at first when you do this, but the more you do it, the more comfortable and automatic it becomes. And as I say, what I do is I no longer do this before the breathing exercise, but it becomes part of it. Think about it. When you start with your hands in the heart position, it's a perfect time to just touch your heart. And that's your cue to take a breath through your heart. So as you inhale, you're imagining that beautiful air coming in through your heart. Once I pierce that eighth chakra and exhale, I visualize that stale energy leaving my body while I'm slowly draping that outer layer of that chakra around my body. Again, that eighth chakra is what's connecting me to the non-physical realms. When I do this, it actually feels like, I don't know, cool, comfortable satin, like a satin sheet that moves in slow motion around me. And then as I make two more passes, reversing direction with each pass, again, I've created that torus field of protection. And although this is great to use for meditation, I use this bubble of protection throughout the day. If I want a good night's sleep, I can do this before I go to bed. and I make the bubble larger to make sure it encloses my entire bedroom. This is a good place to stop. I've shared a lot of things with you. Remember that formula, T, thoughts, energy, action, and that thoughts become things. Take your time throughout the day. Check in with yourself. Are your thoughts positive? Great. If not, maybe do a reset by using some of those breathing exercises. Again, you can do them in 15 or 20, 30 seconds. Use that bubble of protection when you get up, or especially like if you're at work and you might be going into a meeting that might be contentious or uncomfortable, use that then and see what difference it makes. Practice that bubble and the breathing exercises. Check in with your observer. Notice how all of these exercises can help you connect with that greater aspect of you, your super observer. Thank you for joining me today. I am truly grateful. Feel free to email me. You can find my contact information on my website, CandiceSanderson.com. And I want to thank you in advance for any likes, shares, subscribes, or comments. So until next time, goodbye.